And joining us now is Heather Bushey, Senior Research Fellow at Reimagining the Economy Project at the Harvard Kennedy School and former White House Council of Economic Advisors member. See, I can't get it out of my mouth. This is why I did not get into Harvard, and you did. But Heather, in a recent article, you said tariffs alone are not the solution to bringing back manufacturing to America. You were the chief economist for President Biden's Invest in America cabinet. Why won't this work? Why aren't tariffs enough to bring this manufacturing back? And what other tools should be used, in your opinion?
Well, we have a lot of evidence from the past 4 years about what you can do to spur in new investment across the United States in manufacturing, because that's exactly what we saw. In fact, we saw a historic increase in the construction of new manufacturing facilities across the country. And this was because of a concerted effort that did include some tariffs, but largely included making sure that as businesses wanted to make investments, government was helping them address what economists would call market failures, making sure that their industry could thrive, working with the local partners at the state and local level to make sure that they had the supply of talented workers that were skilled and ready to go, and that the community had the resources and the collaboration across the community to make sure that community was ready for this manufacturing investment. There's a lot of pieces that go into this, and you can't think of manufacturing just as one factory being plopped down in one place, but it's a part of a larger ecosystem, a supply chain of different manufacturers that go into that production process. And I think what's really scary about what the president's doing here is that there seems to be no thought to those larger supply chains, those larger ecosystems, how these tariffs that are being put together in a haphazard way are going to affect those supply chains and those, particularly smaller manufacturers. And we're already seeing evidence that manufacturers are struggling.
And I want to talk to you about exactly that, because we've been seeing President Trump holding this big chart that has what the White House says are all these effective tariff rates for all these other countries. And I mean, I remember looking at it and thinking, well, that's a pretty big tariff on American goods. Maybe there's a point here. But I've been reading in the last couple of days, and without getting too into the weeds as someone who, again, barely passed grad school econ class, the math is not mathing on that chart. Can you explain to us what is wrong with those numbers? And that is not actually, in this formula, that's not actually the effective tariff rate that the U.S. is getting from all of these countries, right? It's not totally accurate. Can you explain why in very small words for those of us who don't really understand this stuff?
Yes. Well, so let's start with the fact that it would be very difficult to calculate all of the different ways that countries subsidize their own manufacturers. So instead, what it looks like they did is that they just looked at the gap between how much countries export to us and how much they import from us. And they said, okay, if you, send more stuff to us than you buy from us, that's a gap, and we're going to, slap on a tariff that's going to try to equilibrate that. Now, I guess, no, I'm not even going to concede that makes sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And again, this isn't coming from a place of looking at how are we going to make U.S. manufacturing thrive? What is the goal here? Is the goal to punish other countries? Is the goal to, make people who are already rich, billionaires, richer? Or is it to make sure that investment is happening within the United States? And again, over the past 4 years, we saw a doubling of the investment in the construction of new manufacturing facilities, a lot of new foreign direct investment in the United States. In Trump's first term, after he did his tariffs and his massive tax cuts for the rich, we actually saw the construction of new manufacturing facilities fell a little bit. So we can see the contrast here. And, what he's done this past week is he's just made things overseas more expensive using this wacky, if you could call it methodology. I mean, there's Greek letters, but that doesn't mean that it's actually good math, without actually taking any of the steps that are going to help U.S. Manufacturers thrive. And in fact, there are so many things that, Elon Musk and his chainsaw have been doing across the federal government, the cuts that they've been making, that will actually make it harder for us to create good jobs. If you gut the Department of Labor and their ability to enforce labor law and to make sure that workers are safe or that they have the right to form a union, that's not going to create better jobs. And yet, the president is saying if we just do tariffs and make things more expensive, those good jobs will magically appear.
I also want to ask, how much these tariffs undo some of the more successful economic efforts from Biden's administration. For instance, Infrastructure Investment Acts, Jobs Act, or even the CHIPS Act, which has had an interesting run with this administration.
Well, already we are seeing signs of manufacturers pulling back. One of the things that we did in the Invest in America team was we had this mapped where we tracked announced investments in clean energy manufacturing, chips and science, biomanufacturing across the country. And by the time the president left office, that had tallied up to $1 trillion of announced new investment that was being followed up by shovels in the ground. Well, what we've seen is that some outside groups that have been looking at those businesses have found that actually almost $60 billion of that investment has now been either canceled or pared back. And that's on top of other reports of manufacturers saying that they're struggling, that they don't have optimism about the future. For example, I noticed in the news that Stellantis, is already laying off workers in the face of these tariffs. So I think that there are going to be a lot of questions because nothing that the president is doing is making it easier, more viable, more economical for the kinds of investments that we want to see across the country. All he's doing is making the supply chains that we have and the things that we import more expensive. He's not actually making those efforts to replace the good. And quite frankly, the Invest in America agenda was all about improving domestic capacity in sectors where the United States could be competitive for years to come, where we could create those good jobs in communities across the country. So it was a holistic approach, connecting the dots between American competitiveness, American innovation, and American good jobs in communities that need it most. Now, let me just end with this note. And we know that the majority of the investments from the private sector that happened over the past few years were in communities that tended to have lower income. And quite frankly, communities that didn't vote for Joe Biden in 2020 and didn't vote for him in 2024. And I fear that as these tariffs, as this failure to focus on those investments, as we see manufacturers cutting back, that those communities are going to be hardest hits. And those are the communities that honestly need that investment the most.
Okay. All right, Heather Bushey, thank you so much for joining us.